Alright, Shalom, call Allah Yahweh Shem Shah. And this is another video I want to get into about the wicked. This is how you know who's ruling. The wicked is ruling. Ain't nothing righteous about who's ruling right now. And even though they pull these little stunts and try to put our people in power, they still got to answer to Esau.
Well, this sounds like the right thing for a politician like the new mayor of New York to say in their first speech. The reality is...
Let's go back to this. Salaki.
We will not be controlled by crises.
Well, this sounds like the right thing for...
And who creating this shit for real? Esau creating this shit. I got this video. I ain't look at it yet. I have to click on it. I'm kind of quite sure what it's really getting into. I just queued it up for later. But it says, you know, I ain't even gonna say that word. You see what it said. They fuck around and strike one of my videos again. It says that were actually lab leaks. Now, they have all this stuff in these labs. When they get out, that shit don't leak. They let it out. They don't just be leaking that shit out. They have certain protocols they follow until they want to experiment on something.
For a politician like the new mayor of New York to say in their first speech, the reality is, for the last 2 years, American life has been controlled by crisis. And it's obvious we are not happy with how things are going.
Why we ain't happy? Let's go. This is why we ain't happy. It says, let's see what I'm like. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Ain't too much rejoicing going on right now, unless motherfuckers on heavy drugs and shit. And then people rejoicing all the time. If you're in the spirit and you're seeing that the wicked actually falling right now, then that's why you should really be rejoicing. Other than that, ain't no rejoicing going on like that. Now it says, when the righteous are in authority, people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And people mourning right now. People pissed off. Motherfuckers could barely travel to see their families. Motherfuckers could barely pay their bills. Gas high as shit. Food going up. Everything going up. And Babylon going down.
In fact, the events of the past year all come to the same conclusion. Americans are beyond not being happy. In fact, they're downright angry. I'm Skylar Hughes, and on my first show of the new year, I'm going to look at the angry American.
And I ain't gonna play this other video. I'm gonna say this clip too. And matter of fact, let me go ahead and cue this up. Cue this link real quick. So y'all can kind of skim through this. I'm gonna just jump around on the video and pull some presets. I've been trying to get better and not make videos too long. I know people attention span is kind of short.
And what is happening or not happening to drive their anger. And we are going to discuss the continued confusion around the coronavirus and why America is seeing the highest numbers of positive cases all today. We're going to look at the surge of U.S. workers rising up against working restrictions, and nothing actually makes people more angry than more of their hard-earned dollars going to the government. A government which just in the last 24 hours has reminded Americans, especially those here on the East Coast, just how badly they do their job when they're needed the most.
Damn.
There's a new soap.
Let's get past this. You got Esau promoting soap. Hey, just over 1,000 years ago, they weren't using no soap, but they don't know about that history though.
Welcome to a new year, where unfortunately the plagues of years past did not dissolve and disturb at midnight. Now, I'm not saying Americans are known for being the kindest people in the world, but at least in the past, there was some level of decorum. Even during the Civil War, when families were often split on different sides, stories of kindness being shown to a person opposite fighting lines have been journaled. However, today America has turned into a country of narcs, where one individual feels empowered to control another's life, and failure to comply can result in a public display of disapproval, at the very least of the consequences. So as you can imagine, living and working in such environments have caused stress to rise at the frustration of the lack of control people are allowed to have over their own lives which after 2 years has created a society filled with not only the mentally exhausted, but also a society of angry people. This all brings us to the most recent source of anger, especially if you are in the Northeast. And it seems the government has once again failed to prepare for something which happens every year. It's called winter. And this is where we find our newest addition to the RT America team, Paxton Boyd, who tells us all about I-95, which despite a 36-hour warning from meteorologists of the impending winter storm, had drivers stranded for almost 24 hours, all leading to demands by the public for the National Guard to actually be activated all to help.
Scotty, what you're seeing here is what's left of the winter storm that hit the
They like the video. I ain't gonna let that part play. Like Esau say in their own words, never let a crisis go to waste.
Well, they're seeing things they've never seen before.
Well, Angela, but
And I think that
They got
plan
people on strike. Why they on strike? This is why these people on strike, man. Because the wicked is ruling. No, not Esau. Let's see. Everyone, go to the other precept. It's in the book of Proverbs, chapter 29. Browser when I crazy now. I'm searching certain stuff up. Anyway, it says when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous shall see their fall. And that's the righteous man. Really paying attention to what's really going on. You don't see these damn devils keep ruling over us, especially knowing their characteristics and their history and their track record. You already know, you know who they is. The jig is up. So if you're in your right mind, you don't want them ruling over you. That's like giving Master the whip and tell them to whoop your ass with it.
and the older ones especially, the closer they were to retirement, are saying, hey, to heck with it. And I've got a lot of clients that are airline pilots that were calling me saying, if I'm forced to take this vaccine, I'm going to be at your door because I'm walking out. So
And see, look, hey, you got certain Jake. They ain't with that shit. But simultaneously, what you know this gonna lead to? That badge of servitude, that charagma. That's what's gonna boil down to. They ain't about no. These motherfuckers don't care about how your body feeling for real. They want to control your body. That's what it boiled down to.
and hey, to heck with it. And I've got a lot of clients that are
Since when Esau care about how the fuck you feel? Come on now, let's be real.
airline pilots that were calling me saying, if I'm forced to take this vaccine, I'm going to be at your door because I'm walking out. So I think it's
Since when Massa care about how you feel?
a lot of both that has changed it. Is their job environment,
We sick.
but I think it's mostly the job environment, not so much the worker.
Well,
The other reason that you have
Massa ain't sick. We sick.
workers.
Well, and that's what I think, and I want to go about that job environment. I'm going to toss this over to Steve because
Oh,
anger
man,
from
this shit is
workers and
hilarious.
their situation. You know, decades ago, it helped create the unions. And
Now, hold on.
just a
Let me skip a little bit up real quick.
Hey, as an entrepreneur, I'm thinking, hey, there's your business. There's your business opportunity. Start your own packing house. Well, it has to be USDA approved.
right, once again,
Yeah,
government.
and once again, you start that shit, Esau got to come in and give you the green light so you can keep running that shit. Or not, and shit getting shut down.
So you've got a lot of
That's why, hey, these devils can't keep ruling over us like that, man. Come on. Who in their right mind would want that? You trying to run or set up a righteous business and do legit business. Here come Esau storming in, FDA, and whoever other branch, USDA and all that shit. They try to approve ill shit. Meanwhile, they creating a bunch of madness and pushing it up. Well, let me see, let me go to something else. The book of Psalms, chapter 92 and verse 11, it says, my eyes see the downfall of my enemies, my ears hear the wailing of my wicked foes. And that's going to be even more beautiful as time progresses. Edomites going to be through. Fucking coon ass niggas going to be through. We're going to join hand in hand with Esau. It's just gonna be a beautiful thing just to see this. In these times, like, hold on, let me get this real quick. It's the book of Luke, chapter 10. So, yeah, book of Luke, chapter 10, verse 24, it says, "For I tell you that many prophets and kings have desired to see those things which you see." So, hey, people been wanting to see this stuff happen. It's just the time for that shit right now. You know, it says, "I have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear, and have not heard them." So, hey man, count yourself as blessed if you actually can really see what's really going on. Because a lot of people really can't see what's really going on though. They gotta go to Esau for answers. They gotta go to these fake scholars and shit for answers. They're not really getting no real clarity. Let me get another preset real quick. It's the book of Romans, chapter 11. Let me see where I'm gonna start at. Start at verse 7, the book of Romans, chapter 11. It said, "What then Israel have not obtained that which you seek for?" And when it says he and Israel, it's talking about us as a whole, not just one individual. So don't be simple. It said, "But the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded." Because you have our people, they go on this search, trying to figure out the truth, what's the truth, what's really going on, where we come from, who we are, how we should be as a people, what position we really should be on this earth. The elect, they don't figure it out. Some of them still figuring it out and growing. But what? The rest were blinded. Now it says, "According as it was written, Yahweh hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. And David said, Let the table be made a snare, and the trap and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them. Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back all the way." And that's what it is. Some people really can't see. You can go highlight a whole book and highlight the main precepts. A person need to read to grasp what's going on, what happened, what went wrong, and what's about to happen. But if they're not meant to see it, they're not going to see it.
And hoops to jump through to be able to do that. So I can tell you firsthand, looking at my client's situation, that it is the shortage of labor.
Well,
This man can get lucky 1 cow a month.
Well, Angela, see, we thought it was going to be the supply chain that was going to be the problem. But if you don't have the workers, it doesn't matter how much product you have if you don't have anybody to actually process it through. Not really a big best. The only problem, the solution we're finding from the federal government. Yeah, no more cattle
They're not
drives.
doing cattle drives to get the cattle to the packing house. They're having to use vehicles, and that uses oil.
It's all just one hand through. The government solution is let's print more money. Stick.
And see, they ain't going to do nothing but do what? Collapse the USD just so they can usher in the RFID.
Let me ask you a question. Have you?
It's clear as day, man. You can see this shit going on unless you just blinded. Now, even though Babylon falling, that don't mean sit around and mope and be a bum and not wash your ass. You still got to handle your business and responsibilities. This is just so you can be alert and know what's coming. Kind of, and prepare yourself spiritually, mentally, and physically.
Scientifically driven. And there are other considerations when it comes to COVID-related government measures, such as their effects on mental health. A shocking result of the pandemic is that suicide rates have skyrocketed among young people.
That's because they bugged out and they ain't, they ain't been seeking Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's why. And notice it say the youth, right? Let me go to this. I know some people that's personally talking to me about that shit. I ain't gonna get into those stories, but you know, they still here to this day. Now, it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 6. It says, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near." Don't wait till the last minute, because it's going to be too late. Seek him in the days of your youth, like the scripture says. That's the one I was looking for. Let me see. Let me find it real quick. Give me 1 minute. Let me find this real quick. All right, so the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 1. That's what I was looking for right here. I don't remember exactly what book it was in. Now it says, "Remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth." Don't wait till you're getting old as fuck. Shit fucking up on your body and all that, or whatever going on. Don't wait till it's in your best interest. Do it while you're young. Do it while stuff going good for you. Like the scripture say, while the evil days come not. Don't wait till shit start getting evil, which is where evil just goes into a bad time. That says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. You know, the years draw nigh, and thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun, the light, or the moon, the stars be not darkened, or the clouds will turn after the rain. And the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong man shall bow themselves, and the grind will cease because they are few." And that's really what's going on right now. Got help signs up, hiring signs. A lot of people ain't trying to work. A lot of people having mental health issues. They bugging out.
Such as their effects on mental health. A shocking result of the pandemic is that suicide rates have skyrocketed among young people. A Surgeon General's report notes that emergency department visits in early 2021 for suspected suicide attempts was 51% higher for adolescent girls and 4% higher for adolescent boys compared to the same period in early 2019. And according to the Children's Hospital Association, the number of suicide and self-harm cases in the first 3 quarters of 2021 was 47% higher among 5 to 8-year-olds and 182% higher among 9 to 12-year-olds than they were in the same period in 2016. Eric Clark is a behavior specialist.
You know, like kids just really anxious, not knowing what's going on at
Look who teaching about behavior.
what's going on in school. I've seen a decent amount of self-harm thoughts. We have kids that they just feel completely overwhelmed, they just don't want to do it anymore.
The bottom line, the pandemic has reached much further than just the direct effects of the virus. However, as the mainstream media and governments continue to sound the alarm on Omicron, many experts are saying that the COVID-19 variant could be a blessing in disguise. It has become clear that Omicron is much milder than previous strains of COVID-19, causing substantially fewer deaths and hospitalizations. With predictions that Omicron will peak in the U.S. by mid-January and that infections might rapidly drop after that, as they did in South Africa, better days may be ahead sooner than later, and hopefully the government will be able to manage the transition back to normal better than it has the pandemic.
You see, that key sentence right there. Esau trying to make shit so you be dependent on them, so to speak. They don't want you to be dependent on Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They don't want you to be calling on the Lord. They don't want you to be seeking the Lord. They don't want you to be applying this extra stuff to actually do what you're really supposed to do. But the answer's in here, how to take care of yourself and manage certain stuff. It's in here, man. Esau don't got that book in that courtroom for nothing, because they read it too. They know what's in there. They just don't go by it. We'll go to this last precept, but I'm in this up. They don't swear you in that courtroom on that book and tell you lift your right hand or whatever they try to tell you in that room for no reason. And they got the Apocrypha too. It's the book of Isaiah. Chapter 33. Go ahead and go to it. Book of Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6, it says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord, Yahweh is his treasure." Okay, and if you read these precepts and actually apply them, you see it work, man. I see it work personally. I don't even invest my time in it unless I know it worked. This worked. So I just want to bring this out. How the wine writes this out. This is edifying. Call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahushua and Shalom to the elect.